All right, guys, I'm back with part 2 of my NYU grad school testimony. If you watched part 1, I'm just keeping it going basically where I left off. So yeah, I am wearing the same thing that I was wearing. I ain't up here for I don't know, the outfit changes and all that at this time right now. um it's 4th of July weekend. So I'm just chilling out, relaxing, and waiting for the evening festivities because it is literally like 100 degrees here today where I'm at in Richmond. um but yeah, let's get back into it. Like, I had so many crazy trials throughout that journey and experience, but also too where God got me back to the place where I was literally needing to get back to church again. Because I was going to church when I was in Virginia. I had found a church out there, and it was just a kind of a little bit, I don't want to say drama, but I'll share. I'm going to be transparent on here. So here we go, letting it all loose. So I was a member of All Nations Worship Assembly Chicago when I was in Chicago. Um, I left my hometown in Virginia to move there when I first graduated undergrad. It was maybe like a year or so that I had even taken a break and actually then applied to go to Region online, and then literally had basically left. Wasn't working very long, maybe a year or so, um, before I moved out there. That was another God faith journey. And if you want, I have videos as well that I can feature on this video to share with you all about that journey. So it was definitely a God thing that I was out there. But there basically was some drama that happened in the midst of the church, which I don't have the details on. I'm not here to share the details, but it's still hurtful to people who are involved sometimes in those type of situations. I'll just leave it at that. And so it was for me, a very sticky situation that we had basically had so many of these churches, different locations, different places. So I thought when I was in Virginia, when I joined the All Nations Virginia location, that I'm like, oh yes, I'm still connected with my family. It's not kind of like really like I left. And then there were a lot of those different state pastors that had changed the name of their church, and basically was saying like they didn't want to be All Nations anymore. I'm gonna try to make this short as possible because this is not what this video is about, but I just want to give you guys context. So in the midst of me being at that All Nations Virginia church, that's what happened. And it was just kind of like a shock. And I was just like, wow, you know what I'm saying? So then when I had to go to New York, there was a New York location as well. And I went there to visit, because I was just like, let me give it a chance. Like, I'm not knowing what everyone's experience is and what's actually happening, but like, let me go, because this is where I've been grown spiritually, been developed for like over the past like 7+ years. Like, it literally was like family to me. And so I was like, let me go give it a try. But I just felt like I was just saying no. And I really had to, I had to be okay with that no. And I was just praying, asking God, could He give me somewhere to go? And I reached out to a few different people. They gave me some lists, and I just kind of started going down the list, and I found the church that I felt like I was meant to be in that season. And that church was found NYC, or we actually was called C3 at first, and then they changed their name. But I did heal so much while I was there, and I even got to the point where I was ready to actually serve again as well, because it was just so much going on with me, y'all. Maybe I could go into the depths and the details, intricacies, if anyone has any, questions. But I was just dealing with a lot of hurt, um not only from the past church experience, but just from some family experiences with some of the men in my family. So I was not wanting to do anything out of hurt. I was not wanting to serve out of that pain. I really knew that that was the reason why if God put me anywhere, planted me anywhere, it was definitely going to be because I was going to heal first. And then he would give me the okay to serve when the time was right. And so I think it was maybe a few months. Like probably I joined the church in the fall, and like probably late fall, like right before the holidays, like after school had been happening for a few months. And then by spring, by the end of the semester, I was exploring serve teams. And I really truly believe that being a part of that church family um, built me up, strengthened me back up, um, to not only have what I need to get through the rest of that season, but then also to begin to just pouring into the community, the church community that I was planted in, and then also to just the city. Um, yeah, it was very special, the community that I had there, and I'm still close to a couple people, and so it it will always have a long standing place in my heart, in my faith journey, that New York City as a whole, but also to the people that I was able to like meet and do life with while I was there. It really did, like, that people, the prayers of like the leaders, the prayers of my community, like it really withheld me, y'all. It really helps sustain me. It's so much importance in community. And I think at first, when I first got to New York City, I was like, I don't have any friends, I don't have anybody to connect with. Da, 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 da. I was, trying to go to all these different groups at NYU and try to, I even reconsidered joining a sorority again after I had already, like, me and God had already had that conversation a while ago, that he was like, that was a no. So you could tell I was kind of like in a desperate place, like grasping around. And not saying that people join sororities because they're desperate. I don't want anybody to think that I'm saying that. But based off of the things that God had spoken to me about, I was not to do that. And so, but that's what I could tell by my actions, the things that I was doing and grasping at, that it was where he really planted me at that church that really strengthened me in my faith again. Um, yeah. So I have my notebook right here, so I'm gonna look down at this. But yeah, another place that I found community was within the social sector leadership development group that I was in at NYU. It was truly a beautiful experience because there were so many diverse people in that group from so many different walks of life and so many different sectors in their field and expertise. And I feel like I learned so much from them. I learned so much from our leader of the program. And I begin to not only like take it with me now as I'm working in my field now, but I was even trying to implement those things when I was at school and still applying for grants and doing programming. There's a program that I got to do called Caring Culture, where there was a grant that I was able to receive to facilitate events for staff at NYU within the Steinhardt department, colleagues, people who were working alongside professionals, admin, things of that sort. So it was so empowering, the experience, despite where I was feeling weak in some areas where it might have been like more like financially. Like I was really empowered in the gift that I've been given, the skills that I already had coming into the program, and how I was able to pair that with new skills. I would say that, I know people have multiple different experiences in grad school, and some people come for different things, and experiences may not be as fruitful or may not be what people expect. Sometimes I've heard certain things from colleagues, but personally I feel that my experience was fulfilling. I had so many opportunities. Like the director and the admin of my program, like they were always trying to make sure that we had so many experiences, like so many experiences. And you could say that I was paying for those experiences because of how much my tuition was, but they made sure. I feel like there was really not many things that I really had to come out of my pocket for while I was there in regards to our program. I can't even really think of too much. I mean, there's some things like they might suggest for us professionally, like to go to a conference, and we might have to come out of our pocket for those things, for little things. But like, it's like you get to make your own choices, you get to make your own decisions. Like even in regards to like books and things like that, they did a really amazing job of like having literally about 99.9% of our resources like online through educational websites that we could download, or we could, pull up on our online platforms to read through. And it's just like others maybe suggested readings could be things that you might have to purchase, but like mostly everything I could either get it from the library or I could get it from an online platform, which was, oh my gosh. That's why I'm telling you, there's some people that if they ever call me and they ever need something for me, like I'm gonna make sure that I get it for them, or I get the right person to help them, because I just, even thinking back, going back to this video, like, and just sharing the things about how people have just come through for me. Like my boss at CMAP, like, what? Like, lady, like she was probably one of the most pivotal people to impact me while being at NYU, like in the final the final months. Like, just such a blessing to me, so I am just beyond grateful for the people that I've been able to meet and to learn from. Leaders, like just so many beautiful leaders, because just being in the PWI space can be even its own load. Like when I'm telling you, like I'm reaching out to people, asking them, can they help me, knowing that they had the power to help me, but they just choose not to help me. Like, those are probably some of the hardest things to like process. But then outside of that, to know that there's so many people within the community that are like, I want to help. If I know someone that needs help, like I'm gonna help them. Like if you know somebody that needs some help, reach out to me. Like I've got you, I've got your back. Like I'm here for you. Like it's just reassuring that it's just like, it's about who you know. And I really feel like I understand that, because before, like, especially at a big organization like NYU, you can be like, how do you know who to meet, or like those type of things. But it's just so many. I even totally forgot about me being a part of women's entrepreneurship group at NYU. Like, oh my gosh, met so many amazing people there. And so yeah, I literally just graduated in May. So I'm gonna get to that part of the testimony as well. There probably may be 1 to 2 more parts to this series, because I don't want to just give too much in one video. But I'm just blessed, and I want people to know and understand that, like, because I gained so much, I want to give back. And like, that's what this new chapter of my life is about. Like, I'm giving back in the workspace that I'm working in now. I'm gonna be giving back in the as I'm transitioning back into business for myself, and ministry for myself, and I'm excited about that as well. I hosted an event in May after my graduation that was like a creatives workshop, and it was such a beautiful experience, and I can't wait to host more things like that after the show that I'm in is over. I'm gonna get back in the kick into the swing of planning for more events like that, and to just be a resource and to be a helping hand to the creatives in the community that I am in now, which is Richmond, Virginia. So if that's something that you're passionate about, something you want to connect about, collaborate, partner with, yes, feel free to comment below, reach out to me. I would love to connect. My Instagram is DevDirects. My TikTok is Dance with Devin, and I'm on both places. I've been a bit more on TikTok lately, but I'm trying to get back posting on Instagram again. But yeah, and then also to trying to post on here as well, to share the longer form content. But like I said previously, if you guys have any questions about the specifics, I don't mind sharing. I'm an open book, and I really truly believe like we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the power of our testimony, and that is why I'm sharing this. Like, some, you know, people may watch this, they may be saved, they're not saved, know Jesus, don't know Jesus, but and they may not understand like why is she sharing so much, you know. But I'm sharing first of all because I feel led to share, or else I wouldn't. And then the second thing is just that I know that there's people watching that share and comment and say how much it's a blessing to them, and there's other people that share. I mean, there's other people that will watch and they'll never say how much it blessed them, but that's okay as well as too, because even if there's one person that's blessed, God knows, and he gets the increase, because it's not anything of me, it's only of him. So till next time, continue to be the light in your sector wherever God has placed you, and I'll be coming on again soon to share part 3 and part 4.